Today we're going to talk about feedback for Ptr Patch 2.6.9. This is obviously for Diablo 3, slated for Season 21. So a lot of people have been asking me questions on stream about what do I think about the sets and all that stuff. So we're just going to quickly cover it and then I'll offer some suggestions. A lot of people in the community have been offering suggestions to the developers, and that's awesome because if you remember how bad AOV and Paj were when they started and they evolved into be like fully fleshed out sets, you know, things can definitely get better, and it's because of the positive feedback that we give them. It really goes a long way. So the first set I'm going to talk about is the Masquerade of the Burning Carnival. First of all, visuals I think look super cool. They did a really good job with the set this time around. I like everything about it. It has its own unique vibe and look, and yeah, it's just super cool set altogether. It has like that Lord of the Rings of the right, the undead whatever. That's kind of cool, man. Good job on the visuals, Blizz. It looks great. Necromancer in general is in a super good spot this PTR. They went from literally no push builds that were even fun. Like, you know, the only thing we had was Thorns, which very few people even enjoy. Now we have Lod Mages got buffed because of the Volition shoulders. We have a Lod Melee Mancer build. Let me show you the shoulders here. The Volition shoulders now give you 50% damage reduction. So like all the mages got buffed. We have Melee Mancer, we have Corpse Explosion. I have all these on my website. So if you were like, oh, what is Lod Corpse Explosion? You know, I have mock-up builds for everything. So you can kind of check that. Just bloodshed.com, or you can check the links in the description of the video, right? So and this is like a work in progress section on top. It's just temporary, and then eventually they're gonna funnel down to like the ongoing tier list that we have and all that stuff. So yeah. Another build that we were talking about is Melee Mancer. These are all, they're not like super tanky, but they're all moderately tanky, right? So you have now 3 builds from 0 builds, basically, in my opinion, that were like enjoyable and even like, you know, moderately tanky or whatever. So anyway, this is the new set. I just wanted to set it up that there is 3 builds now. So this build doesn't have to be our everything, you know. I do want this build to be good though, but it is there's a lot of other things that got pulled up with the patch, similar to Barb. When they buffed Barb over this last 6 months or whatever year. We got Seismic Slam, Hoda buffed. We got the new set, right? Our Whirlwind got buffed, and the new set Frenzy. So we got like 4 builds for Barb where we had no builds previously. The first thing I would do to Necromancer, which is really weird. Why? Okay, so they changed the final service where when you get procced, it no longer destroys your minions, right? But you used to get health when it used to destroy your minions, so they need to fix this and give you 50% of your health or 100% of your health. Necro has like the worst cheat death, so this definitely needs to get changed somehow, for sure. The new set is like a bone spear, and then your minions attack what you attack, kind of like a bigger dagger and dart build. All these suggestions are going to be based off of what the developers showed us. I don't want to change their vision for the set. I just want to maybe tweak it and enhance it a little bit, right? So I'm not going to completely rework the whole set. That's ridiculous. There's only 2-week PTR. So I'm going to offer like, I guess, realistic suggestions. So this is like a sniper set. So like you're kind of kiting and you're throwing out your spears and you're just blasting elites, and you can kind of line up the density and all that stuff. We did a 104 GR with 800 Paragon, 100 gem levels, and no augments, right? So like that early progression, or late for some people, but that low level progression, it was able to complete low level GRs. And if after you add some augments, I could see it going to like, you know, 115 and all that stuff. So definitely needs a buff for sure. Since it's like a sniper build and we're relying on this kind of stuff, I would definitely nerf, or not nerf, we would buff, no nerfs, please. Bone Prison. Currently, Bone Prison is a 30% chance to trap enemies for 3 seconds. I would bump it up to 50%. That way it's easier to kite and get control of the battlefield, because right now it's chaos. That would proc Crispins more, and that would proc your trapped more, and it'd just be more consistent damage, I think, all through. For the 6-piece, it is currently 10,000 damage. I'd buff it to 15K, 15,000 damage. And I would give us the crystallization rune or something, one of the runes for free. So crystallization, each enemy hit has their attack speed reduced, so that increases our survivability and increases our attack speed, which increases our damage, and it just feels better. Right now, like this is a one-hander. It feels a little too clunky, but when you have a little bit of attack speed, it feels a little nicer. Or you can just give us an attack speed boost, maybe on the 6th piece. You get the 10,000 damage, and Bone Spear travels 25% faster or whatever. The animation's faster, something like that. So it feels a little bit more fluid. You feel like a sniper. It's not so overpowered because you're going to run out of resource anyway as a necromancer, but at least we can get a lot of value out of convention of element cycle or something like that. Overall, I like the set. I think it plays really different from a lot of other builds. We're like this kind of kiting sniper build, you know, and it visually looks different and all that stuff. So yeah, I like it. And there might be a middle ground somewhere we can kind of flesh the build out and make it its own kind of thing. Similar to the Necromancer, the Demon Hunter got some dope buffs across the board, where we not only get the new set, we get a UE buff. So it's like we're getting buffs to a lot of generators, right? So like a Hungering Arrow, there's like the bolas got increased. All this stuff synergizes with the UE set. So you're gonna see, again, like UE single gen, UE dual gen. So this patch is also bringing up Unhallowed Essence a little bit, I think, especially with the Pierce rune, and Shadow got buffed. So now Shadow's up into like, you know, it's going to affect the build maybe 3 to 5 GRs, which is nice, you know, 100% multiplier, all that stuff, you know, helps push Demon Hunter into more relevancy. We also got the Odyssey's End buff, which might bring support. My prediction was to have a triple support meta with Crusader as DPS or Barb. So you'd have support Demon Hunter because they offer a lot of damage, and then you have support Monk and support Barb with one single DPS for like speeds, like those 130 speeds. This is just a prediction. I didn't do it in any group runs or anything like that. But you can see, so we have UE, Shadow, and the new set. So now all of a sudden, and then you have Rapid Fire still. All of a sudden you have 4 builds that are in the forefront, you know, for Demon Hunter, like in that 135 territory, which is nice to see. So first things first, the visuals look amazing. I knew it was going to have gears on it or something like that. So yeah, this is the God set, the Gears of the Dreadlands. Again, really dope visuals. They crushed it. They kind of dropped the ball with Hydra, sadly, but they definitely delivered on the 2 sets this season. And they, like I said, they have their own unique look, which is like it makes it iconic when it's so unique to that set, you know. So good job, Blizz. So originally how we thought you played the set, we originally thought it was a strafe set. So currently how you play the set is you build up your stacks to 10 with the generator, and you use strafe to reposition. So you like DPS, and then you reposition to like make an Oculus ring or something like that. And then you DPS, and then you use it to reposition. While you're repositioning, you're doing DPS. So think about UE, right? Think about multi-shot. We wouldn't expect to DPS while we're tumbling with multi-shot. So we shouldn't expect to DPS while we're strafing. I think that's kind of how the set plays. And I think it's a good thing. I don't want to just strafe build, you know. We already have Whirlwind and Paj, but some people probably do. So I don't know, maybe there's a middle ground for everybody to be happy. But I like being able to reposition. It feels fluid when you play it like this, right? It's like a dope reposition tool. And you get to DPS in transition. You're like do, and you start DPSing, right? So I think it's pretty fluid to play. I like it, and I hope that they make it better. So we're gonna get into the changes now. But at least you have an idea of how it's supposed to be played, or at least it looks that way. So after you're done attacking, momentum loses its stacks, right? It makes sense. Like a momentum makes sense that you need to be moving forward or doing something. But I would probably let us build momentum stacks when we're just attacking the air. That way we can maintain or gain a few stacks in transition. And then with the 4-piece, right now you only have damage reduction when you're strafing. I would say we should get the damage reduction after we use a generator. That way we have our 50% here, and then 50% here, and then we could maintain it. Like maybe you keep it up for, I don't know, 3 to 6 seconds after you use a generator. And then that'll help us keep up our momentum stacks in transition. And then we'll keep up our momentum stacks when we're actually DPSing both ways, right? So it makes sense, right? So when we're moving, we gain momentum stacks, and after we use a generator for 3 to 6 seconds or something like that, we get to keep up our damage reduction. For the 6-piece, I would go to 20,000 damage for the set. It's pretty weak. A big part, in my opinion, is because of math. All the generators for DH are super low, like 200, 160, 200, 160. There is a rune, I think, somewhere, like Bola's has a 216, right? So they're just, the base of the skill is so low that it's affecting the top end damage of the set. You could buff all the base, but now you're buffing UE generator also. Where if you just buff the 6-piece, you know, then you would just be affecting that. So I think those changes would make the set a little bit more enjoyable. A lot of people want us to extend the stack duration and all this stuff, which might be good. You know, I don't know everything, but I want to play the set the way the devs originally wanted to play the set, I guess. So I'm only looking at what they want to do, and I'm offering a suggestion to make that better, I guess. So overall, it's a good set. I really enjoy it. A lot, actually. I like the two new sets a lot, but they do need to be cleaned up. There's also a lot of bugs with Demon Hunter that they already are aware of, I'm sure. And like when you're strafing, you don't get benefits from all these runes from like Pierce and Bariza and things like that. And grenades are really weird. So there's definitely things that they need to fix about it, like bugs. I guess I'm mostly talking about the functionality. The sliders can be adjusted, and as long as the functionality is fun, I guess, then that's all that matters. So I jumped on my Witch Doctor to talk about the seasonal theme. The seasonal theme is a passive theme. Every 2 minutes, you get this huge, cool effect. I think 1 of 5 elements. It shoots down from the sky. As long as you're in like adventure mode or you're in a rift, you'll get the bonus for it. You'll be able to use it, or you'll see it, right? So I'm in a rift right here. Every 2 minutes. It's been pretty, every 2 minutes on the dot. And this is what I was saying many, many times in stream and on videos. If you're going to come out with a theme that is not good, then you should recycle an old theme. Like we should get Ring of Royal Grandeur back, Lan. Like they have a lot of dope themes that, you know, Triune. The last season's theme was cool, even though it made Necromancers insanely powerful. But, you know, if you can't think of a theme, then maybe recycle an old theme, right? So the seasonal theme, it is what it is. For me, the builds are carrying the patch. The seasonal theme is just there, right? It's cool that it's there. Like they didn't have to ever give us seasonal themes. So it's nice to see. It might have been 2 minutes already. Let's go see. I don't know. I'm not so upset that the theme isn't the best. It's just, it doesn't make sense. There it is, snowball. So the screen gets a little bit to the color and of the effect. And then I think we have some pictures here to show you. The screen turns to the color of the effect and then it shoots out. So it's kind of cool. Like there's some cool ones like Rekka from our podcast, our Diablo podcast, showed one of the pictures that you get. A little Kamehameha beam. It's pretty cool, man. And there's another picture of it. All right, some of them are cool. It's just, it's a passive thing. It's not build defining, you know. I think people might have liked double bounties more than this, is what I'm saying. So, yeah. The seasonal theme, it is what it is. It doesn't make me not excited for the season, but it doesn't add to my excitement because it's not build defining or anything like that. It's just there, right? Rewards. Let's talk about the rewards for the season. The rewards are really cool. Let's go to the what's new section. You get this weird pet. Maybe you guys can tell me what kind of pet this is. We didn't really look into it. Some coronavirus in a canister or something like that, but it's pretty dope, man. It kind of goes with the gears or the gears of destruction kind of theme. And then the portrait also, like it's just like Bioshock or something. Pretty cool stuff. The portrait, the pet, on point. If you don't know, here's all the Hadrigs. I'll go through them really quick. And all the conquests are easy, like Curses, the Thrill, Speed Demon, super easy. Avarice, super easy. You can do that in the cow level. And Sprinter. Sprinter's the only one that takes effort, really. So overall, season 21 is going to be really dope. I'll do another one of these videos as soon as we get a patch or we know anything else. So again, check out the website if you want to know all the latest builds. These are all work in progress, right? So things are going to change along the way, and I'll keep it updated. You can find the live stream, the podcast, all in the live feed here. Right, here's the podcast. Here's the Diablo channel and the variety channel also, which I'm going to always upload to. That's going to be all for me today. This is the Bloodshed, and I'm out of here. Peace.